Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is August 7th, 2023, and we'll call this meeting to order at 7:40 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy? Here. He is on via phone. Trustee Nava Esparza? Here. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll start with officer reports, starting with mine. First, I have a WebEx conference call tomorrow I'm going to participate in, and IDOT sent us a notice I just got today. Pre-construction notice is to discuss the upcoming construction to the bridge deck and the approach slab over at the bridge going over the Calsec River at Route 83 on 127th Street. So I'll have more information after tomorrow when I participate in that meeting. That they did select a contractor, and they just want to establish a construction timeline for that. Next, certainly I want to thank everybody that participated last Tuesday in National Night Out. We had a lot of great volunteers, had a good time out there. Chief Szynski, thank you for getting in the dunk tank.
Yeah, got an injury from it.
Tom, you went running by with a towel over your shoulder. You were enjoying that a little much, you know. But I appreciate what you did, including Park District President Jeanette Huber too. Got in the dunk tank out there. That was a lot of fun.
My concern was the temperature of the water, and it wasn't bad. So, right.
That's why you're supposed to dip your toe in there, Tom, instead of jumping in, you know. And then, so no, thank you very much for doing that. And we had that was a good evening there with all the volunteers and so forth. Thank you. Next, I want to let everybody know that I want to give another thank you to Mary Schmidt and the CalSeg Enterprise Zone. I did receive 2 checks last week from developments that are just starting in the community. These are rebates that we get through the CalSeg Enterprise Zone, and they just started some expansion work at the Sunoco LP plant over at 3210 West 131st Street, as well as finally they're getting started at 3600 West 131st Street. This is they're otherwise known as 131 LLC. This is an organization that was recognized by Governor Pritzker a couple of years ago. He came in and we had a press conference here, and they gave, I believe the state awarded them $1 million for brownfield cleanup, and just now they're finally getting this work off the ground. So we thank them for developing in our community. Next, we had I want to let everybody know we do have an RFP advertised on our village website, and we advertised in the Tribune as well for our village liability insurances. So that did take place last week. So we're looking forward to those RFPs coming in. I think they're due November 15th off the top of my head. That might be off a day or so, but it's right there for the December 1st renewal. And then I just talked to Chief Szynski regarding the fire department, but the Fire and Police Commission offered a report to say that the retest for the fire's lieutenants are scheduled for October 19th. The fire candidate we're looking to hire 2 more firefighters, paramedics. Firefighter candidate just took the polygraph last week. Commission should have the results soon. Medical is next. And the firefighter should be eligible for hiring possibly even this week, so that I just made the chief aware of that so he can do his part of it, after which second fire candidate requested a pass. So they're on to a third candidate who might not be locked in as well too, so they're going to be on to a fourth according to our list. So hopefully we lock in that second hire that we're looking to do. We're hiring 3 all day. And that's all I had from the commission, Police and Fire Commission. So first on your agenda this evening, under my report, was the approval of a resolution to accept planning technical assistance services delivered by the Chicago Metropolitan for planning. Again, what that was that we have an approval, we're asking for approval of a resolution to expend some funds. We were actually approved for two different sources. Maybe I can ask Jeff, our engineer, can you speak to that, Jeff?
Yes, so we were notified by CMAP that they're going to be overseeing a village-wide pedestrian study. In the village, the match for that is $15,000 that the village would be responsible for, and they're basically going to cover the rest, and they're going to have a short list of contractors, consultants that they use to perform that work. Separately, we had submitted to Cook County for Invest in Cook and received a $60,000 grant for that work. Similar scope, village-wide pedestrian study. So we've talked to the county, and we can use that $60,000 towards the $15,000 match for CMAP.
That's
so it's
great.
a good deal.
I'm really happy with that. I know, and I appreciate everybody's help trying to get that yet done, too. So we're going to look for more safe passage throughout the village, and most of the streets that we identified are all non-jurisdictional streets, so we're going to present basically a survey or a plan to those jurisdictions to try and get their support to develop those sidewalks that we're looking for then, too. And others, not just those folks. We might need others throughout yet, too. Okay, thanks, Jeff. That's all I had for my report this evening. Clerk Harding?
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation and approval of the July 24th, 2023 board meeting minutes, presentation and approval of the July 24th, 2023 finance meeting minutes, and presentation and approval of the July 2023 FOIA report. And that is all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Attorney's report, we have Joe Kanker with us. Joe?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Hey, Joe. Next, we have the engineer's report. Jeff Agan. Jeff?
Thank you, Mayor. We have a request for approval of the resolution for improvements under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2024 MFT maintenance operation and related engineering in the amount of $250,000. So this is the general maintenance program that the village has every year for street lighting, street maintenance, crack sealing, and miscellaneous paving and things of that sort.
Okay. Jeff, do we have anything in these that you can speak to right now yet to what we have earmarked for this yet? Or?
Yes, so we have a crack sealing program that's part of it, separate but still part of it. So we're looking to get that advertised on Thursday, and then start within the next month or so, crack sealing handful of different streets.
Okay. Stretch out the longevity of the street. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Next, we have our public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board this evening? Nobody? Then we'll go on to our standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McGlawhorn.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I request for approval of a list of payroll dated July 28th, 2023, totaling $462,335.30. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated August 7th, 2023. From the recap, General Fund, $202,928.44. Road and Bridge, $7,928.41. MFT, $5,198.55. Water and Sewer, $887,659.18. Heritage Complexes, $38,966.44. For a grand total all funds of $1,142,681.02. And that's all I have under finance this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go to our fire committee report. Trustee Murphy.
I have the approval to purchase a Genesis 19C battery-operated combination tool at a cost of $14,825. This tool will be placed on a fire apparatus that currently does not have one. This has been budgeted for and will have an approximate 6-week lead time for delivery. Chief Szynski, are you in the room?
Yes.
Could you explain to the board what this is?
It's a hydraulic rescue tool. We have them on all our vehicles. The only one that doesn't have one right now is the truck. When we took delivery of the squad, we moved all of our heavy extrication equipment over to the squad. So the truck is out on the street for calls. One of the major things of trucks is a forcible entry, specialized rescue, so that tool's no longer on there. So we need to put one on there.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, just so we're compliant with our ordinances too, do we get three quotes on this? or-
EMC is the only one that's our area dealer for Genesis.
Okay,
All of our other rescue tools are all Genesis, so we're keeping the same tool that we have.
all right. All right. No, I get that. I'm learning that at home. You go out and buy a weed whipper, get them all Briggs and Stratton, or whatever, all
Everything's-
Milwaukee's
yeah.
or whatever you're going to do. Otherwise, you get batteries all over the house. And
Yeah,
stuff
and
like that, so.
the Genesis tools work off Milwaukee batteries, so we want to keep everything standardized with our tools.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good. So, go ahead, trustee.
Next, I have the approval to pay the past invoice to Fox Valley for work that was done on radio system from 2019. A total of 256 radio boxes were serviced. The cost is $62,720. This has been budgeted for. I did get well, I guess the chief can explain it
Yeah.
better. I did get a voicemail from him today explaining this.
All right, so back in 2019, we spoke with Fox Valley, who's our authorized vendor for our Caltron, which is our radio system for fire alarms. One of the things that they strongly recommended was putting tamper switches on there. So anytime a box is opened by anybody, they receive an alarm, and if it's one of their techs, they know what they're doing there. If not, they investigate to who went in there and why they went in there. The reason why it's important, if they didn't have those tamper switches, anybody can go in there and disconnect the box. They could have a fire alarm and we'll never get the signal. So that's one of the items that were put in with those boxes. Another one was some of the radios boxes didn't have strong enough signals, so they had to change some of the antennas out. They had to add one other device. I forgot what the whole description was. So this work was supposed to be spread out over 4 years. They had a change in staffing, they had a change in management in Fox Valley back in 2019, and miscommunication on their end, they did it all at one time. The total bill for the bill was $92,000 back in 2019. The following year, we paid $10,000 towards the invoice. Last year, we paid $20,000 to the invoice. This year, I had it in budget to pay it off the rest of the way at the $62,000. Keep in mind that we bring in an approximately I want to say it was $148,000, if I remember right from my math, is what we bring in from Caltron every year. So we're more than capable of paying off this invoice and being done with it. And it was put in this year's budget to pay it off as well.
So, Trustee Murphy, I know you and I talked about this earlier today. As much as we all hate to see an invoice that shows up 4 years later, they had a change in ownership, is that what you're saying, Chief?
No, they had change in management and some of the service staff, so there was miscommunication on their part on how it was supposed to happen. So all the work was done in 2019. We're just still paying off on it now, and I told them we weren't going to pay it all then because that wasn't our initial arrangement. It was supposed to be spread out over 4 years.
Chief, do you have a work product from them, too, to reconcile what we're doing here?
Yeah, the last couple of years I had what was actually done, what was done throughout the whole, for that whole work process, the contract.
So we have something for our records, too. That's
Yeah,
a big thing.
and I think it was, I think I did send it to Erica back when they did this back in 2019. I'll send you another copy
All right.
of what was done.
Like any good business or certainly a municipality, we're chasing revenues all the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
To make sure that we're reconciling accurately
Yeah.
for audit purposes especially.
Yeah, through the HEE system, it's identified as Caltron, so,
Okay.
yep.
All right. Anything else, Trustee Murphy?
No, sir, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next, we'll go to the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dalzell.
Thank you. I have nothing for this evening, the meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Public Work and Boat Launch Committee.
No report, Mayor.
Okay. Sewer and Water Report. Trustee Nava Esparza.
Thank you, Mayor. No report.
All right, thank you. Jeff, did you get any kind of status on our water main replacement that's going on right now, or do you have anything on that?
Yeah, so The method of installation for that project was horizontal directional drilling with some areas where they have to do traditional open cut, minimal. So all the horizontal directional drilling is completed. So now they're going to be dropping back and they're going to be doing some of the open cut areas where they have to kind of tie everything together. And then they'll follow up with the connections to the various houses.
Okay. I know Commissioner Triben told me they were going through one area, if not two, and hit some really solid rock they couldn't get through.
Right.
And they actually had to make a cut through the street to bow the line. You can't put 90-degree elbows in something like that. So you guys they had to do a lot of work to cut up the streets and everything then, too.
Correct. Yep. To go around it.
Chief, I saw your sidewalk all cut up. What happened?
No, not mine. Thank God they missed mine.
Oh, okay.
My neighbor to the west, his is pretty much cut up, and then a couple houses down. So
Okay.
mine will be cut up to put my connection up, but I
Okay.
was hoping to get a new parkway out of it.
Of
but-
course you were, so, all right. Thank you. We'll go next to the Building and Health Report. Trustee Prado.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a presentation and approval of the July 2023 Health Department Monthly Activity Report. In that report, there were 19 complaints, 1 inspection, and 32 citations, and 0 call-outs. Next, I have a presentation and approval of the July 2023 Building Department Monthly Activity Report. And in that report, there were 109 permits issued. The amount collected was $38,952, and that's including inspector fees. And the valuation of the estimated cost of construction actually is valued at $2,105,999. And that's all I have, Mayor.
That's great. Thank you. Next, we'll go to Human Resource and Insurance. Trustee Murphy.
Other than the reminder of the RFP renewal, Mayor, I have nothing more. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you. We'll go to our special committee reports, starting with Economic Development. Trustee Nava Esparza.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report.
Okay. Next is Village Properties. Trustee McGlohorn.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation and approval of the July 2023 Heritage Activity Report. And just for informational purposes, right now, or at the end of July, we had 0 vacancies available for rent at Heritage 1.
Well,
We have 5 unit remodels currently in process there. And we currently have 4 vacancies available for rent at Heritage 2, while there are 7 remodels in process.
that's great. And for the benefit, we YouTube all of our meetings. The benefit of what the trustee just reported, the village owns and maintains 31 buildings, right, Raj? Or is it 30? 512 total units, but with 31 buildings, correct? 29, I don't know, yeah. But, no, that's great. 0 vacancies. You guys have been busy over there, Raj, huh? Good, good. Next, we have the Ordinance Legislation Report. Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for an approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 5825 West 118th Street, PINS number 24-20-013-000, and PIN number 24-20-400-021-000, and that is in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. And that's all I have, Mayor.
So we do have a couple of representatives here from Opus. If any of the trustees had any questions on this, again, we had a great presentation with this developer, and this is nothing more at this time than just approving our ability to allow a 6B tax assessment. Anybody have any questions for them? No? All right, thank you. Next, we have the Planning and Zoning and Licenses Report Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a presentation and approval of a list of licenses dated July 24th through August 4th of 2023. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Did anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? None? Then can I Did anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Mayor, I need to remove letter J.
Okay. Anybody else? No? All right. Can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All right, item A, approval of a resolution to accept planning technical assistance services delivered by the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, will now be known as Resolution 2023-08-R-1. Item E, approval of the resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2024, MFT maintenance operations and related engineering in the amount of $250,000, will now be known as Resolution 2023-08-R-2. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
All right, thank you. We'll go back to an item that was removed, letter J. This is the approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class B assessment status for the real estate located at 5825 West 118th Street with pins known as 24-20-201-13 and the second parcel being 24-20-400-21 in the Village of Alsip. Before I take any questions, did I have a motion to approve this in a second the way the motion stands?
I'd make that motion.
Is there a second? Okay, there was no second to this. Trustee McLaughlin, you pulled this, you had a question?
No, I don't. I can't vote on it. So
Okay,
I pulled it for a separate vote.
understood. All right, again, did anyone have a second to Trustee Dalzell's motion?
I'll second that.
Can you call roll, please?
Okay, roll call number 3 to approve item J. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
I abstain.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve item A. I'm sorry, item J.
And what is that ordinance number now?
What number?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was all discombobulated when you're... I apologize. It will now be known as Ordinance 2023-08-1.
Very good. Thank you very much. Did anyone have any unfinished business they want to share? Any new business? All right, then can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you, Trustee Murphy. We're going to adjourn this meeting at 8:04 p.m., and thank you for joining us this evening. Everyone enjoy the rest of your night.